Okay, let's finish off our truss component by creating some triangulated features. One of the easiest ways to keep working on this once we've started to create some solid geometry is to go back to wireframe. That way we can see our points and our nodes and our references. And we've got to draw a few more in and extrude out some componentry. I'm going to put in a tube right away across the bottom here. So I'm going to apply a point to this line. I'm going to set its reference. I'm going to draw a circle again. I'm using tubular componentry just because it's really easy to quickly construct. I'll make a 12-inch diameter tube, so that's relatively massive. I'm going to grab the reference line and the circle, create form, and we've got some solid form going across. And I see that kind of as a major structural element. You can do this any way you want. You'll see how the thicknesses play out in characterizing the way the truss actually appears visually and the way you see the structure working. So let's create a couple more reference lines. I'm going to triangulate these points now, so I'm going to connect some points. These are the triangular elements. And let's go ahead and kind of test our functionality. We want to move these and make sure that our lines are all behaving properly, which means that they're behaving adaptively and we're not getting any warnings coming up. As you go through this, you'll probably find that you are getting some warnings, and so don't get the idea that because I don't have warnings or problems coming up that you should be having the same experience for the first time through. Now we're going to make some more tubing along these elements. In this case, sometimes just rotating the geometry can help you visualize things better. I'm going to put a point on this line, and we're going to draw another set of reference plane, and we're going to draw another circle. We'll make this a 2-inch tube. And we can actually extrude out geometry in multiple directions as long as the reference lines are contiguous. So I'm going to select those two reference lines in the circle and create form. And I'm going to also do the same thing in the other direction. I'm going to have to put another reference point on there, set another reference plane, and draw another circle. And we wanted that to be, I believe it's 3 inches. Oops, not 3 feet. I think it was probably 2. We'll see in a second. And I'll look at that as a shaded solid just to see how it looks. Okay, so now we've created a new piece of geometry, added our components. We'll go right through and load that back into the project again, and we'll overwrite the existing. Give that a minute to regenerate. And there we have our truss. And like I said, I made those bottom tubes really substantial just to help you visualize the way that the frame is constructed. You can also imagine those as being attachment points for structural column systems that we're going to add later on. Now we've completed this, but it's really, we're in a family environment, and we really want to move this into a project environment. So let's go ahead right now and open up a new project. We'll go ahead and save that right away as the, I'll call it frame on site. And we'll go back out to the space surface file. And we're going to load that into the project now. We're going to load that onto our project environment. So this is the first time that the frame is sitting in our actual project. Not quite sure why I have such a long lag time there. This always comes up. Show mass, because we haven't added materiality and we have some conceptual mass elements in there, the visibility of this, it typically shows the mass the first time you put it in, but many times later on you reopen the file and the mass elements don't show up because the mass visibility has been deselected. So this warning is valid, and if you ignore it, you'll probably find some confusion later on. And I'm going to just place that element by clicking now and give it some time to regenerate. That warning is once again about the idea that the mass geometry, and we're not seeing it because we're at level 1 and the actual space frame is up higher than that. So let's just go to a view. Let's just create a generic 3D view here so we can see it. Now we can see our frame has been inserted on the drawing. And let's go to the south elevation just to see how high we're sitting. And we're up at that. So we're at 0, we're up at the 40-foot range. Let's go to the site view. We can see our system. I'm just going to move it over a little bit. And I'm just going to create, before we leave this clip, I'm just going to create a 3D view of it. So I'll go and grab the camera. And it looks a little odd because we don't have any kind of ground plane to help us see it better. So I'll leave off on this, and when we come back, well, actually we could go to, at least we could render it, get some ground plane in here. All right, and actually I like to, because the frame has so many lines in it, let's turn off the lines so that we just see form. Okay, so we'll leave the construction at that for now. I'm thinking that I might want to lower the whole space frame down because of the scale. I'm 40 feet in the air, I'm really only 60 feet wide, so maybe we want to do a little adjustment there. But that's not critical to moving forward with the project. So we'll pick up on the next clip with starting some columns to support this.